Douglar Politics, Saturday, 7:30 p.m. We start on time. We elected an incompetent, heartless, tyrannical oppressor who likes no one but himself, his friends, and he loves money. He loves money more than his family. He loves money more than the product of his loins. Yet we, the people of Trinidad and Tobago, elected this dictator and allow him to select every board, every chairman of every board, control every tax dollar, control our lives, control everything we do in a pandemic, even though this man is the biggest failure in the history of the Commonwealth. Wake up! Wake up, people! Wake up and unite. We cannot go down like this. Douglar Politics. Let's unite. 7:30 p.m. Saturday night.
Listen, Douglar Politics, yeah. Douglar Politics. This is Douglar Politics, yeah. Douglar Politics. This is Douglar Politics. Douglar Politics. This is Douglar Politics, yeah. Douglar Politics.
Good evening. This is Douglar Politics, and this is Douglar Report, issue number 3, available at 9 p.m. As soon as I finish here, Archie will download it to Douglar Politics Facebook page and to the WhatsApp group. If you have not subscribed, subscribe. You have all the articles in here from front to back, about 14 in-depth articles and columns from Fazal Karim, Dinesh Rambali, Dave Tanku. We have Kemraj Sunil, the UNC Legal Committee. They take the lead. Neil Gosain, Brian Stone. It goes on and on and on. Information, because the mass media gave you Rowley. So look for the truth, look for the information. Good evening. Let's get cracking. I must agree with my brother Dylan Carter, our World Championship silver medalist, because it looked like FINA, which is the Fédération Internationale de Natation Amateur, in other words, the FIFA of swimming, has postponed the major world championship. It was due after our first postponement. It was due to be in May. They postponed it to next year, 2023. How ridiculous. And Dylan Carter says that FINA really don't care about swimmers and the sport and so on. And I tend to agree. I feel like it's a PNM in FINA. So well said, Dylan Carter. Keep training and keep making us proud. And I like your attitude, intelligence, and brilliant sportsmanship. Don't be no coward. COVID-stricken Trinidad and Tobago women's hockey team forfeit 5th place match. We send our women out there to the slaughter again, late funding, reaching late, get slaughtered, mash up, and on top of that, we gone and get on the plane with COVID because Trinidad and Tobago is the PNM COVID center, and we have to forfeit a game because the COVID manifests itself over there. I hope that our ladies get better, healthy, and well, let's stay out there, yes, because it's safer out there than in here under Dialsing and Rowley with this COVID. Keith Christopher Rowley, while the country is suffering and you're firing CPEP workers and you're stopping food cards and you're going into parliament to make sure that Al-Rawi get rent and whoever refinance get money to pay the refinance and the extra interest rate for loans that came due, and you outside there playing in the Prime Minister's charity golf tournament in Tobago. Keith Rowley, on the 15th hole, did you kick your ball, Keith Rowley? Keith Rowley, answer the question. Y'all who don't play golf will not understand what a great sin it is to move your ball, to kick your ball, to change the position of your ball. Tiger Woods and those players, Phil Mickelson and so on, even if they move a leaf and the ball shakes, they penalize themselves. One of the beauty of golf is that the beauty of the game is that it's a game of intelligence. integrity, when you self-regulate, you punish yourself. It is a beautiful game. But when you have miscreants who since 1969 trying to thief pum-pum from girls of school age, who come in to lie on email gate to get a job and put a lady out of a job that she deserves, who gets into government to ensure that they buy land from their friends and family and everything is money, dealing with money to friends, family and financiers. When you get a scumbucket of a prime minister, I ask you, Keith Christopher Rowley, did you kick your ball forward on the 15th hole? And be careful, because Anil don't play. So when you answer for the 3,785th time that you lie, we will see. Did you kick your ball forward, Keith Rowley? And you kick your ball and you're cheating. I already told you you're not good at the game. And you're a carpetbagger. And your swing sucks. The game might be beautiful. You love the game of golf. But the game of golf don't love you. So on the 15th hole of your charity classic, did you cheat, Keith Rowley? Yes or no? Yes or no? And while you doing a golf tournament for charity, you stop food card to feed people? Excellent. So who the charity is for? Port of Spain South MP challenges Swappy to a boxing match. Who is this Port of Spain South MP? Keith Scotland, you who was bathing the other day with the minister man, want to look how comfortable all you look at washing and bathing. Oh, that's an interest. You want to box in the beat-em? You can't go in the beat-em to see about the people's sewage system that have them there in raw sewage for 6 months. You and the minister man frightened to go down there. You come to tell we that you are going to do a manly activity. A manly activity of boxing against Swappy in the beat-em. Keith Scotland, tell me something we could believe now. And furthermore, if you're going to do that, Swappy, I the referee. I is the referee at that match. It had no 3 knockdown rule. It had no standing 8 count. It had no savior by the bell. We go knock you out. Boy, I is the referee. Keith Scotland, let me go. You versus Swappy. Anil refereeing. Oh, Lord. Well, Keith Scotland and them gone. And look at this. Guardian print a picture of youth men playing football in sea lots. Now keep in mind, Archie could come in on that. Because in 2007, while I was a member of this Congress of the People and I was walking in sea lots for the then candidate, Gopal McNichols, I sat there and 2 youth men, one was 8 years old and one was 10 years old, came up to me and said, "Sir, can we talk to you?" As I sat down watching the skill of these youth men at 10:30 a.m. on a Tuesday. School was supposed to be going on. And I said, "Of course, come and talk to me." And they said to me, "Sir, what's somebody like you doing in sea lots?" Back then I was on TV, Spork, Gael, radio, national coach, them kind of thing, right? So clearly they recognized me from somewhere. I said, "How you mean, my brother?" He said, "What's somebody like you, celebrity, doing in sea lots?" And I had to sit down there and explain to him that all of we is one. We one people, nobody better than nobody. All of us are united, Trinidad and Tobago. That's where the concept of life sport came into my mind. That for a young boy of 8 years old, very disciplined, very courteous, to have a philosophy on life that somehow he was inferior to others. At that time, my 2 big children were about the same age. And the only philosophy they knew in life is get an A, do good in the tennis or the swimming, and daddy go buy them a shoes or get something that they want. You want something? Work hard. That's all they knew. But here this young boy had developed at 8 years old a concept that he was somehow different, that opportunities in life were not for him, that people, they were the haves and the have-nots. Do you know how hard it is to get that into the mind of someone in 8 years? That's where I said this must stop and resources must be pushed and pumped into areas like that to give opportunity. Why were they playing football when they should be in school? Why weren't there coaches around talent, identifying and physically training them to identify talent to maybe move them into football to gain money in the Pro League, while Kamla Prasad Bisesa increased funding to the TT Pro League. All of these things have crashed from the PNM. They come and say corruption, corruption, live sport. But them come and say food card, man with food card have Mercedes and people have this and that and rich people taking food card 7 years after they live sport. What have you all done? So all your bad talk live sport, even though 2,378 young black boys were getting $1,500 a month and 2 meals at $75 per day, a breakfast and a lunch that Al Rawi say was too expensive because school feeding could do it for $9. So we must give big, strong, strapping black man, according to Faris Al Rawi, Johnny Sukkar and that nasty dog. We must give big black boys food for $9 when he does go buy trotters and he appetizer is $90. He told me that on Hansard. Go and read it. This nasty man who then goes in government and approves, go out and drink coffee while his brethren then approve 23.6 million in rent by 2 because it renew 46 million plus 38 million for himself. Saying there's corruption in live sport because 2 meals with water and juice and security, because you can't go up in some of them whole day without security. $75 per person was corruption. But as I say, as they talk live sport, live, what did they do? What have they done? You know, from live sport, in 24 months of live sport, of the worst, it's not no jokey thing. This is the fellas who actively involved in crime. Only 2 people died. But now you're hearing gang violence. Everything is okay now. Gang violence, 3 dead, 5 dead, 6 dead, 20 dead, 48 dead, more deaths. And DCP Jacob and the PNM say, well, that gang violence, that don't matter. But all your bad talk live sport. When live sport was there, gang violence, 2,378. Only 2 of the participants died in 24 months. So all you keep bad talking live sport, brother, there anyone all here. Come out now, live sport corruption. Come out and say it, Rowley, you big bald-head, coward, clown, Oreo, nasty, disgusting human being. Come out and say Anil Roberts thief money in live sport now. I dare all you set a whole talk, live sport, innuendo. Come out and talk, like man. But that is the concept. And still in the beat-em, still in C-lots, we are seeing that picture of those children still playing football without opportunity. Vote for PNM on automatic because the pie must not go down. That's what grind them about live sport. Millions and millions must not go down to poor black people. No. Them is to stay in sewage. Them is to stay 6 months smelling tutu water. That's what the PNM believe about black people. Them is to take money from the UNC to go and swim in tutu water. That's what Rowley believes about the black people in Laventille and C-Lots and Beetham. Not Kamla. Kamla believes millions of dollars must be redirected to give opportunity to all, to tip the scales and make it balance. Fire burn all your disgusting PNM from the top come down. And just to show you what the UNC does, from Kamla Prasad Bisesa come down to the councillors in St. Joseph. This morning we went out there and my goodness, what a mess St. Joseph is. Terence Dial saying, if you think COVID-19 is a mess, we went out there this morning, but Councillor Seema Augustine was a little early. And that's what the UNC is about, punctuality and getting the people's work done. She saw a fire raging right by the St. Joseph Recreation Ground, where Tim Gopi Singh built a school, and the school that was 92% nearly complete in 2015, it's there in Bush, like the Ramai Trade School that Archie did. People are stealing out all the taxpayer materials and so on. It's unopened, unfinished Bush, basketball court in Bush, and she saw a bush fire raging. She called the fire services. And while we were there, before we began our function, the fire trucks reached. That is how the UNC serves the people. ILI, Archie, show them. The UNC works. We are here because Dial Singh does not do his work. We are here to show our support for for the 3,373 people that died. We are here on St. Joseph Recreation Ground. My counselor came here early, 8:55. She saw a fire burning, raging. Look at that. Film it. The fire truck is here on spot 17 minutes after. That's what the UNC does. That's what our counselors do. That's called work. They all sing, you convent girl, you failure. And while you all are playing games, while there was a constitutional crisis from since August 11th, while a prime minister decides that he lost confidence in a commissioner of police and then set a chain of events into motion to trample all over the Constitution, involving the President of the Republic, the Chairman of the Police Service Commission, thwarting a merit list, sending an Attorney General substantive away, and putting an acting Attorney General to make legal notice 277 and 278. And then all of this nonsense is ably and supported by independent senators in the Senate to get it moving along, to ensure that the PNM can select who them want to lead the police, to turn this place into a police state, because PNM must control everything. What sort of democracy we have? But while all of that is going on, and they're playing games about who will control police and whether Jacobs will walk and shake up, look at what's going on in sweet Trinidad and Tobago. Actually, this was South Park. Suppose we were going South Park to the toy store. Watch this. Families, children, law-abiding citizens, all around. And the bandits, so emboldened by the PNM miscreants, choosing people who are not as capable as those who top the merit list. Bandits now think it's open season. We also see a little boy playing with what? A legal firearm or an illegal firearm? Which one, Fitzgerald Ethelbert, disgusting, nasty Hines? What firearm he was playing with? A legal one that people got? Sign off? Did the psychological evaluation? Did the investigation? Police check at home? Ask the spouse what they think? Check all the things? Certificate of character and so on? Was this a legal firearm that this young, beautiful boy was playing with and lost his life? Or was it an illegal firearm? That's what's going on in Trinidad and Tobago. Where is safe? Says the Newsday. Now you are asking Judy Raymond, where is safe? When under Keith Rowley and his ministers of national security, whether Dylan Smallpin, who got the silver and bronze medal for the most murders under his tenure, and now this clown Fitzgerald Ethelbert Hines, who Patrick Manning would never make a full minister, who knew that he did not deserve to be called minister. Rowley gave him a Kobo sweat to make sure that he goes and interfaces and influences the process for the selection of a commissioner of police. Now, Newsday, you find where is safe. You're asking about where is safe. When you put back the PNM there, Judy Raymond, with your 99% PNM Balizé juice editorials, your disgusting lies, and your warped media, and then Guardian now, the Guardian of Rowley K-Pax. But today's editorial, 1 year later, Trinidad and Tobago is not safe. Sadly, 1 year later after Andrea Barrett's murder, the nation still awaits decisive responses from the authorities. Really? From the authorities or from your PNM, from your Rowley, from your Smallpin, from your Balizé House that you promote Guardian newspaper, Guardian Media Limited, Guardian Balizé Brew Morning Brew with Duncy Head JW, Kai Murab 2 O-level together. Now you wondering why we are unsafe when you help select the incompetent clowns who cannot do a job? And you say, it is time. Here the Guardian, it is time for Attorney General Faris Harawi, National Security Minister Fitzgerald Hines, Works Minister Rohan Sinanan, and others in positions of leadership to account to the nation Because 1 year late after losing Andrea, Trinidad and Tobago is still not safe. Were we safe on August 9, 2020? Were we safe in November 2015? Were we safe in December 2016? Were we safe in December 2017? Were we safe in December 2018 with 535 murders? When exactly were we safe under the PNM Guardian? Express puts the same thing today. Saying Trinidad and Tobago, bandits are running wild, gangs are moving wild, no police presence, no fight. But what did Kamala say? You play games with the police service, no leadership, rudderless from August 11th. Because Rowley got his Bartex in a bunch? Because Gary disrespected him? Rowley, the most disrespectful, disgusting human being on God green earth, disrespect students, disrespect his own outside children, disrespect women across the board, disrespect cabinet ministers, disrespect the opposition leader, disrespect councillors, disrespect Tobago, disrespect the USA, disrespect European Union, disrespect the globe, disrespect OAS, disrespect COVID-19, disrespect our citizens. And because Gary disrespect him, puts things in place to leave the police service rudderless, and now put a man who, when he applied to be some part of commissioner of police or acting commissioner, he finished 5th or 6th. Then put a dunce who does walk and shake up, and now you all are worried. But listen to this. Gunshots all around Trinidad and Tobago. Gunshots playing more than soca in this country. Archie, run it.
Hey, that bullet I'm talking like it. Right here.
That is more gunshots than in a war zone. That's in one area of Trinidad and Tobago. Simultaneously, gunshots ringing out all across this country. Bandits doing what they want. No discipline, no honor, even in banditry. Gangsters running amok, killing people in broad daylight. Down into Ruba, man gone for bread and get shot in the head. Cars coming up with bodies riddled all over. And now the newspapers, now the mass media wake up after 6.5 years of Rowley's incompetence, heartlessness, and lack of planning. You all think this is a joke? Express, Newsday, Guardian, TV6, CNC3, all the radio stations. Oh, we go get a taste of carnival, let we wine, let we drink some water and mind we business. And while that going on, well, they find armed security or armed police to guard the mosquito crack. MP Devendranath Tanku said, robberies and murders everywhere, shootout in Port of Spain, gangsters running amok at South Mall, but government's priority is guarding a crack, the mosquito crack on the highway. Make it make sense. You all try to make it make sense, please. And now the Guardian saying, now is the time for them to be accountable. Not 6 years ago, not 5 years ago, not 3 years ago, not 2 years ago. Now, because your shareholders making money. Well, when you see money, let me tell you something. Keith Christopher Rowley put his friends and family across the board to ensure that he know about every single dollar of your taxpayers' money that is spent. Randall Mitchell is on record on the hand side of saying putting one person on 2 boards is bad corporate governance. But what about having Noel Garcia spend out all the money? What about the tender processes? What about ministers procuring galleons passage? What about the Prime Minister scuttling vessels that a board had procured, 11 vessels, and just lied to the people and said they didn't find none, and then put a cabinet subcommittee of which a small pin was on it, and who chaired that committee? The man who bought the MV Sue, bought it for 35 million, spent 52 million, and it never sailed 1 foot in the history of Trinidad and Tobago. Put that man to purchase the galleon's passage, a slow boat to China, and then tell me they didn't buy it as a fast ferry. They buy it for the Toko port that don't exist. And you all vote for that? Really? How come? How? What would we vote for? But now, the greatest thing, they don't only take from upstairs. That what I tell you, nobody, especially poor black people, is not to get nothing under the PNM. And you all find it's a joke. And then when it's time to vote, they tell you them Indian go take things from you. Let me read something for you all and listen very carefully, my black people. Dealers lose bid for heritage scrap. They want the Prime Minister to probe the flawed process. Let's read. The Trinidad and Tobago Scrap Iron Dealers Association is claiming the process to award contracts for the disposal of scrap iron and metals from 38 lots of heritage petroleum was flawed. President Alan Ferguson wants the Prime Minister and Energy Minister Stuart Young to reevaluate the procedure. Hold on. My brother, you want the Prime Minister and his Gary Sobers, who negotiate everything, the Minister of everything, the biggest failure, the man who swear on the Bible, and then his brother get 3.81 billion in work just so by coincidence. Rowley take his father when Dr. Terence Farrell and them resigned from the Economic Development Board, put Richard Young in charge of all incoming investment to report to his small pin son. And then you have this small pen who negotiate with the upstreamers and cause the collapse of Point Lisas and 11 companies to go. The same man who negotiating for Atlantic LNG train one when the big boys say we done with that and waste your money. You want Rowley, who met Small Pin in email gate as Small Pin defended Rowley's lies, and Rowley and Small Pin appoint Rowley's personal lawyer, A.A. Comina, who has signed and did not appeal the arbitration with Rowley's financier and good friend who does wine bareback and want to love up Rowley and Small Pin in the mud because he loved them like hog love mud, and he want to make Rowley and Small Pin his wife. The fake oil man that the Rowley's personal attorney settle a deal and sign a 10-year contract and going to pay him $100 million to move forward. You boss man, you as the scrap iron dealers, poor black people, want the double stuffed Oreo Rowley and the small pin clown left foot who does move like right foot to go and investigate Rowley's personal attorney and the tender process under them? If you want to waste your time, well, go ahead. It's best you go and look for a heartbeat in Fitzgerald et Albert Hines. Let's continue. Nevertheless, he said he wants to know how a shell company which was registered only a month before the bid closed, a month before the bid closed, won the right to access scrap iron from 18 of the 38 lots that were up for bids. He said the scrap iron dealers were among the most disenfranchised, vulnerable groups in the country, and this was an opportunity for them to uplift themselves. Yes, the most underprivileged groups, mostly of black people, African people, and you think Rowley's an African? Rowley's a double stuffed Oreo. How much time I tell all of that? And even scrap iron, anything to do with money, them have to have some shenanigans, some lack of procurement, them gone in the parliament and the senate, and independent senator vote for that to gut procurement and legalize thieving. And all you vote for that, what you want? No, them Indian thief, eh? Okay, oh good, all you them Indian thief. Never mind you see Point 14 Highway. Never mind you see hospital in Point 14, in San Fernando, the teaching hospital, Cuba Hospital, Arima Hospital. Never mind you see cycling velodrome, aquatic center, tennis center. Never mind your roads were smooth. Never mind you see 106 school. Them Indian thief. Never mind the sea bridge was smooth. Never mind children was getting the money. Never mind pensioners get money. Never mind minimum wage went up. Never mind children life fund children 153 lives saved. Them Indian thief. Not PNM. Scrap iron dealers and all. Buying scrap iron, old battery, buying and all Rowley want. Anybody want to vote again? Would anyone like a chance to vote again? Shut down at Penile Debate Corporation over lack of funds. Cesspool, grass cutting, drain cleaning operations at the Penile Debate Regional Corporation have ground to a halt following the government's failure to release funding allocated in the last budget. Dr. Alan Sami, chairman of the corporation, told Guardian Media the diesel supply had run out, so all rolling equipment, including trucks, were now at a standstill. No funding has been released for the purchase of diesel for the vehicles since the reading of the budget on October 1st. That is how the PNMs treat people. Since October 1st, we're going into February. They don't even send money for diesel for people to handle situations for the people, and y'all don't think that's geographic discrimination? That is disgusting. That is dastardly. Kazim Hussein, what say you? What's your opinion of this as the Minister of Local Government? Kazim Hussein, do you think that is really fair that a corporation that is serving over 90,000 square kilometers, 150,000 people, that they don't even have diesel to fill up trucks and so on, to handle people, to make sure that they clear drains, they service the Burgesses? What do you think about that, Kazim Hussein? Huh? I really would love to know. And while we're talking that project headaches now, oh, corruption PNM style is not, it's just project headaches. When the PNM thief, money does disappear and you see nothing. Project Pride, to build an airport, 400 million to move the course of a river, no airport, 400 million gone. When you see Karani Racing Complex, over 190 million spent, where the complex? You ain't even see a pillar. When you see 481 million under Coleman, but for a rapid rail feasibility study, a study to say, hey boy, I wonder where this thing should pass, where it should pass. 481 million, where the rapid rail? When PNM spend money, now you seeing, they say that the People's Partnership engineers thieving and wasting money. The design was too intellectual, too expensive, too this for the Mosquito Creek. They've gone and redo the designs of the People Partnership. And now you have Mosquito Crack. And the money is not the contractor fault, because the contractor did what NIDCO engineers redesigned and told them to do. So your taxpayer money gone. Don't look at the contractor. The contractor followed the engineering plans that were changed by the PNM because they say the UNC plans were too intricate and too expensive. So they went to save money, them 280 million, that gone. And you don't blame no contractor and feel you'll get back no money from no bond. That is the fault of the PNM. So what will have to happen? They had to go and spend the next 280 million to correct the wrong that them did. And it was cost 3 times as much as when the People's Partnership had the proper designs, the proper engineering without cutting costs. All your ladies who go by the hairdresser to color your hair, all you will go and color your hair for 600 when it's supposed to cost with keratin treatment and so on 2,000. You go and color your hair for 600 now, and it go turn orange. Right? You want to hide inside your house. That's what the PNM do with your money. They come to play cheap and cut corners. And look what you have now. Mosquito Creek is now Mosquito Crack. And the Express now know project headaches. Only headache, not toothache, not thief ache, not corruption ache, not waste money ache, because you're still supporting the nonsense of the PNM. Excuse me. Cracks in billion-dollar projects. Also, Munilal bust the mark, Central Block, Shanghai gone, detail letter, Shanghai construction. Noel Garcia jump out and say the lie, Munilal lie, the project going on. Project going on with what? With whom? Now we come and say 70 people will be unemployed and so on. The project has crashed but we will get another contractor to come in and do it. Oh, hold on, that's how you do intensive, difficult, scientifically challenging projects? You just play sack in, sack out? That's how it works? Under the PNM, that's why they get nothing done, but your money does get spent though. In NGC, you go see some compressor thing, they spend 200 million and they say, well, nah, we didn't need that. Atlantic LNG, 230 million. Nah, we go make back that gone. And when you look at Trinidad and Tobago now, for those of you who love to say the foolishness, the rhetoric, and don't take the time to read, to understand policy, to check cabinet notes, I've asked PNM people on the radio, U97.5 FM, throughout, to call and tell me, in 6.5 years, name one new creative idea, policy, cabinet note, or anything implemented, introduced by the PNM to assist poor people. Isn't that a simple question? Not one PNM could call and say one thing. But you all try to say that Kamala Prasad Bisesa, the UNC and PNM, same thing, of the same side of like a different coin, whatever nonsense. What nonsense? Children's Life Fund, brand new baby milk grant, sport funding, sport tourism, growth pole, sport education, culture, development, marketing, job creation, 55,000 jobs, new plans and programs for agro-processing moving forward, tertiary education for all, gate expansion, and tech for moving forward. Across the board in every ministry, Ministry of Trade and Industry, housing loan, low percentage loan, 2% loans coming across the board, new programs, new cabinet notes, new ideas, energy, bid wrongs. Any ministry under Kamala Prasad Bisesa, you could see some intellect, some thought, and some action. Under the PNM, where you say, yes, Massa, oh gosh, Massa, yes, thank you. He's a minister, yes, he's a minister. Look at the roads in 2012 as opposed to now. Watch it there. What's 2012? Jack Warner, Suraj Rambachan, Minister George, under Kamala Prasad Bisesa, most of Trinidad and Tobago roads was looking like that. And look at Rohan now, 2022. Everybody, that junction day could be anywhere in Trinidad and Tobago right now. From Chagaramas to Matlot, into Couva, down to South, down to Labre, Point 14, Mayaro, across the air. It could be anywhere in Trinidad and Tobago. But the PNM incompetence don't stop there, no? Now, y'all have been hearing me talking about the heartlessness of the PNM and Keith Rowley, about how they don't care about nobody. And if you don't care about elderly and differently abled, then how you going to care about anybody else? Black, white, Indian, mix up, Douglar. You ain't care about nobody. If you don't care about the elderly, and when you listen to call member talk about $4 billion the government has to spend on pension, who use the government? It's not your money, call me a Dwayne Clong. But now, you all have heard me ad nauseum. Well, let me read from a PNM man. What does this PNM stalwart, this member of the PNM since 1956, this former PNM mayor, put up Mr. PNM. Let us see what is his opinion. Mr. Ashton PNM Ford, he wrote a letter and it's printed 2 days ago in the Express. I think today it in the one of them other newspaper. Listen to Ashton Ford. Letter of the day. A pensioner traveling from Mundo Nuevo in a taxi to Arima has to pay $18 while the maxi fare is $15. The pensioner then takes a maxi taxi to Tunapuna to visit the Social Welfare Family Services Office. This is the route for all pensioners from the village that also suffers from bad road conditions and high cost of food items, among other things. What is also heartbreaking, says PNM's Ashton Ford, is the fact that a simple request to obtain a form for their checks to go straight to the bank poses a very serious problem. They have to travel all the way to Tunapuna to collect the form, fill it out, travel back and lodge it. No government should turn a blind eye to reasonable demands from the people and their elected representatives to provide the necessary facilities to serve all and sundry instead of closing down the offices. The absence of the Social Welfare Family Services Office in Arima is only one blatant act of neglect by the government. Now the PNM government, this is a PNM Ashton Ford, Balize, juice running through his veins. Let me repeat that for y'all. The absence of the Social Welfare and Family Services Office in Arima is only one blatant act of neglect by the government, since there are other essential offices that are needed in the borough to ease the hardship endured by citizens. If the government does not move with alacrity to provide the much needed office in Arima, then the tagline family services does not deserve to be part of the ministry's portfolio. Ashton Ford, former PNM mayor and MP, PNM MP for Arima, PNM chairman and PNM man. And add on that, 6 months, sewage in the Beatam. Beatam always PNM. The PNM MP is afraid to go in the Beatam and say UNC go cuff them down. Really? But now you all hear the truth. That's what I've been telling you all since 2015, September 8th, when you all made the mistake and didn't listen to Patrick Mervyn Augustus Manning, and you gave your vote for the Balize, not understanding that the most insensitive, heartless, tyrannical, oppressive dictator was leading your PNM party. You all didn't understand that? I know all your PNM shame. Would you all like another chance to vote? Minister Cox, dead people still cashing government checks? Well, Cox, according to you, you are the minister, so you should get locked up. You should resign, because if dead people cashing government checks under your watch, according to the PNM, you is a thief. So why are you still there, Donna Cox? You see, because all they like to attack other people, UNC, all kind of nonsense fabrications and lies on UNC people. But you come now to say corruption under your ministry? Well, 3 shot dead and murder toll doubles. 70 local employees lose their jobs. Garcia on termination of Central Block contract. I thought you said it wasn't terminated. I thought you said the contractor didn't go. Why did the contractor go? Don't come and tell me nothing. Answer all the contractors' concerns. Who is the company that what you force on them to take as a subcontractor? Which minister wife works for that company? Come and talk, and don't let me see you down by Massey Stores again, eh boy? When I see you down by Massey Stores last time, you had one big bag, and I swear, I do so I squint. I swear I see Rowley name on it. I wasn't sure, but I swear, one big, I didn't know Massey Stores have a big bag, so. Hey, you Las Alturas, oh good. But wait now. Noel, all that money in charge of, you can't fix your teeth? Move it now before you frighten my viewers now, boy. Poor project management, increased costs, right? That is the PNM way. But the economy is in such shatters. And Richard Young was formed the leadership of Scotia Bank for a long time, right? And you know, when you're the leader and the head of a bank, you leave a track record of your character. It flows down through the promotion process and so on. So if Richard Young was at Scotia Bank for 25 years, a lot of the people who are there now at the top would have been trained under Richard Young small pin and Angus Young father. The 3 of them, you could add up them pin and you can't get a nail yet. But Scotiabank, just the other day, Archie, didn't I come and read out where Scotiabank boasting about some 605 million after-tax profit and thing? And I say, but look at that. Banks making profit in pandemic because Rowley and them didn't come to Parliament and make sure that they freeze everything and protect the people. So by not protecting the citizens, the banks were making massive super profits. And I come and tell all of that. They make massive super profits. But here's Scotiabank. Scotiabank to cut 149 jobs by May. So you just boast about profit, but you come with your heartlessness to bust people's throat. 149 jobs gone. You all don't feel that song PNM-ish to you? That those song Small Pinish? That those song Richard Young-inish? Mr. Sabga say government should facilitate, not be in business. Well, Mr. Sabga, Chief Executive Officer of the Answer McCall Group of Companies, then you should not, your Guardian Media Limited, your newspaper, your CNC3, should not have put the government there, sir. Huh? You want to cry now? Oh gosh, wait, let Anil get a little napkin for you, Mr. Sabga. Oh gosh, you put Rowley, your newspaper printed lies upon lies on camera and the UNC. You continue to have and push a PNM head. Oh gosh. And now you're having problems with Rowley. Oh gosh, Mr. Sabga, I feel it for you. I am so sorry that you're Rowley not listening to you. Eh? By fire burn you, boy. We don't hear about you. What about the 351,000 Pfizer that should have come? Where the truth? Talk the truth. Why you have JW on your morning brew? Why your Guardian lying all the time? When they attack Kamala about vaccination, not telling people where the apology, why Gabriel Faria was there, why Jerry Brooks was there, how come it's only PNM there? Now you want to come and cry about PNM because you can get some project or something you want? Boy, Sabga, fire burn you, boy. All your disgusting self. You deal with your man. That your man. All you put him there. Well, boy, look who all you put there too. Don't come and complain about your family dead from COVID-19 either, you know. Because look what all you put. The druggist of death. The man who could not even have the discipline to get into medical school. The man who was not intelligent enough to get into medical school. The man who could not dream about being a doctor. The man who could not pass a pharmacological exam to be a pharmacist. All you put this druggist as a minister of health. And that was an old picture because the death toll as I speak, well, before I started speaking, was 3,373. But this show is an hour and a half. At least 2 more people would have died in Trinidad and Tobago. So at least 3,375 people have died under this dunce that you, Sabga, Answer McCall, Guardian Media, Disgusting Lying Limited, CNC3 with the morning brew with JW Balize spurring it, come to complain about the government shouldn't be in business. Boy, give me a flipping chance, eh, boy? Leave him there. Don't move him. How did my baby die? Second child. I'm not going into all the details because it needs investigation. But this man's PNM come out and say everything was normal. Everything was normal, no problems. Well, let me tell you something. I had 3 children and I was inside the delivery room for all 3. And what I read from what our lady say, I never experienced that with Dr. Narayan Singh nor Dr. Kisoon at any point in time. All I could say is the story need more people. Because to lose a healthy child, ultrasound to reach delivery after 38 weeks, pop in water bag to stimulate contractions, and then tell me a baby reach alive at 38 weeks, but the head open, the head cut open. My brain can't wrap around that. Okay? So with all due respect, PNM, Don't tell me everything was great and fantastic and everything went well and it's just a natural thing, natural mystic blowing through the air. I want more science, more report, more investigation, more information. I want to hear from Tim Gopi Singh. I want to hear from Dr. Kissoon. I want to hear from Dr. Narayan Singh. I want to hear after total investigation what the hell happened with a cute little baby girl. Dial Singh. Well, first of all, the Minister of Public Sector and Job Evaluation, all you ever hear she in the Senate? Woman, go in a job that you don't have to talk now. Tell Rowley and them put you somewhere in our office just to sit down and write now. Or type. Okay? You're bugging the whole nervous system of everybody. But when she became a minister back in 2017, so the first thing happened is she needs get a HDC house. Me I know if the niece get bamboo too. Because you know when Rowley get bamboo, you just get HDC house, Minister of Public Sector, job evaluation to be completed next year. So public sector job evaluation, once them doing a job evaluation, what does that mean? Sing it with me now. Bus throat, bus throat, bus throat, Petro train, bus throat, TSTT, bus throat, WASA, bus throat, T and Tech, bus throat, Ministry of Education, bus throat, across the board, because they don't care about workers, they don't care about nothing but themselves and their recusals. Dial Singh, beach hours to be extended until 6 p.m. Thank you, Dial Singh. Thank you, druggists of death. Thank you, you're so kind, we could go there. But we have to leave at 6. COVID flying out. Huh? COVID review committee gets extension. Kamala Prasad Bisesa, Tim Gopi Singh said, what is this farcical, ridiculous PNM appointed committee with no powers, no commission of inquiry, cannot subpoena documents, cannot subpoena witnesses, cannot take statements. Tim Gopi Singh on an interview told me it would take about 2 hours to go through a file of a patient who died. There are over 3,375 patients who died. These people need to go through each one of those reports. That alone is more than 1 weekend. That's more than a month in hours. Plus, they need to take witness statement, get documents. What are they going on? A guided tour of Dablin Thomas and this druggist. They paint up the place for Christmas and say, look how clean we place is. That's the report into death and destruction where we have 10 out of 10 people dying in ICU. Our ICU death rate for a period of 90 days has been close to 100%. Elsewhere in the world, developed countries, it's 80% survival rate, 20% death rate in their ICUs, 20 to 30% in developing countries, 30%. How come our death rate is 90 to 100%? As we reach there, we should put on a suit and lie down so one time. Don't even bother. Once you reach in this man's hospital, you're dead. And that's a funny joke. A committee, and y'all committee professionals, y'all really accept that? To go and investigate something that cannot be investigated in 7 days. Y'all put your professional names on the line for what? Keith Rowley? For Keith Rowley to tell you, oh yes, a man who kicked a ball on the 15th hole in a charity golf tournament, a man who, when he was minister in our government, gravel road from by a hospital to somewhere by here. Not from a police station, not from a stadium, from a hospital designed to help poor people, children, mothers, people suffering with cancer. Gravel roll from a hospital to somewhere by here, and all you're going to put your reputations on the line for that clown called Keith Christopher Rowley. Why? What is so powerful about Keith Christopher Rowley, boy? Well, the CMO come to tell me Omicron is now TNT's dominant strain. Let's hear this PNM CEO, Parasram, who got an honorary doctorate for his brilliant handling of COVID-19 by the PNM, as 3,375 people are dead, as we had infectious rates of 1,269 just about 6 days ago, as every single variant known to man has entered this country through porous borders. Parasram accepted an honorary doctorate, and he's now on a PNM board, getting a PNM stipend to deal with the environment. He can't keep us safe in the health sector, but he going to protect us in the environment too. A complete failure in the health sector. He have time to diversify his portfolio. I don't know what to tell you. I said to them, let me hear what this clown say, and I want this fool to explain this to me. And yes, I said fool. And for you all who find that strong language, it is. People are dying. Knock on wood. So far, my family and things, right? But all your family does bother me too. So when you have a fool playing the fool, when lives could be saved, do you all understand that with proper systems, proper specialists in charge, people who are intelligent enough to become a specialist, that lives could have been saved? Do you all understand that? Or do you all just feel that COVID-19, death is dead, who dead? Is that what you all think? This one says, to date, there are 56 Omicron cases detected in the country, 28 of which came from among the population. We're basically at a stage where you find that Omicron variant is now seemingly the dominant variant, right? We had 1,269 cases in one day. For the 7-week average, let me take the lowest, 600, right? Let me take 600. That's 4,200 cases. It's more, right? More like 6,000. But let me go with 4,200 cases. 54 of these cases were Omicron. Yet Omicron is the dominant variant. Explain that to me. Explain that to me, please. And while you're all explaining that to me, let's pretend that it is true now. Let's pretend, okay? Take off your bright caps. Let's put on our mental slavery caps and just listen to the crap that he say. So let's say Omicron is the dominant variant now in Trinidad and Tobago and will be for the foreseeable future. 6 months, 8 months, a year. 3 studies coming out of the USA that studied cases and deaths in 25 states over an 8-month period state that 2 doses of Pfizer, 2 doses of Moderna, and by extension for us, 2 doses of Sinopharm, 2 doses of AstraZeneca present 0 protection to the Omicron variant. Let me repeat. 2 doses of all vaccines present 0 protection. So I have 2 Pfizer in me now. I have a card in my pocket that says I could go safe zone. But if Omicron variant, as Parasram, the dunce said, is now the dominant variant, I have 0 safety to Omicron. But I have a PNM card in my pocket that says I can go in a safe zone. So if I go in a safe zone, she don't want no 80 wagon. She want a forklift, man. Yeah, right. And Omicron is there. I dead. But them tell me I safe. Follow what I'm saying, you know. The study says that Pfizer 3 shots boosted. The 3rd one being a booster. And Moderna 3 shots, 2 shots and boosted. Gives you 67% efficacy or safety. In Trinidad and Tobago, only 108,000 people are boosted. Therefore, Only 108,000 people have a 67% safety. 67% is not very safe, eh? But 67% safety from Omicron, which Paris Ram says is dominant. So please explain to me, what is a safe zone? What is a safe zone? What does my card mean when the science says I am unprotected with my 2-shot? When I get my booster in March, I will be 67% protected from Omicron, which is the dominant variant, Paris Ram say now. So taste of carnival, safe zone? You mean the safe zone is only for the 108,000 people who are boosted? And even that is not very safe. That is a 2/3 protection. If somebody tell you, boy, we're giving you a prophylactic, utilize this prophylactic, utilize it freely. You have a 33 and a third % chance of getting every girl that you'd go into pregnant. You go in and use that? You have plenty money to mind plenty child. But what safe zone? What are y'all talking about? What is the PNM talking about? Omicron, 2 shots, 0, mandatory. So now the PNM is telling people, go get your shots, or if you can't work, it's mandatory furlough. Oh yeah? But all the people who took 2 shots already are 0%, so they unvaccinated. So the whole country unvaccinated except for 108,000 people. So what you're talking about safe zone? What you're talking about mandatory? What are y'all talking about? What are y'all really talking about? But they're still talking and you're listening to abject stupidity, and then you want to know why we dying, why we death rate in the ICU is 100%, because of stupidity of the PNM. And he gone on a PNM board to put Balize, all gone brush your teeth with Balize and lying to people. Here the next one. Put back up the convent girl. Minister convent girl. The purveyor of stupidity. Minister, fewer patients in hospital for COVID-19. Well, let's read that. The number of COVID positive cases needing hospital care has declined, Health Minister Terence Dialsing said. According to the minister, government's policy of vaccination and of using new spokespersons in its vaccination campaign is working, as fewer people are in hospital with COVID-19. Okay. Now, first and foremost, me I know about what he talking about. Because the statistics over the last 30 days have shown a vast increase in infections and deaths. So if he is saying that while the infections went up and the deaths went up, hospitalization went down, it means that plenty people dead at home. So it's not vaccinations that's stopping hospitalization because deading is up. It's something else. It's that people not going in this clown's health system because they know you will dead. People are preferring to stay home and try best to get a private doctor and fight up at home with their loved ones and get their care at home because they do not want to go in the zones of death operated by this dunce. And just to prove it to you, because in the last 30 days there was no uptick in no vaccination. All of us know we reading, we seeing, we outside, we seeing vaccination sites. Normal. We were at 48.7%, and right now we at 49.3%. Double vaccinated, don't let me say fully, because two vaccination shot against Omicron equals 0 protection from Omicron. Okay, but let's read. Look, the Alsing now, this same clown who just said our vaccination program is going great and people are picking up, that's why we're not having so many hospitalizations. Well, listen to this same size 11 foot in mouth disease dunce. Health Minister Terence Dialsing says vaccinations across the country have been very slow. I've been very slow. The government had anticipated an increase in vaccination as it moved to implement legislation to make the public service a quasi-public safety zone from February 17th. When Guardian Media visited the Southern Academy of Performing Arts, SAPA, mass vaccination site, there were only a few people waiting their turn to get third booster vaccinations. The line for the first-time vaccines was vacant. This was also the case at the Debate Health Center. So all this crowd saying we have less hospitalization because the vaccination program increased and because we marketing better and we have better spokesperson. But we ain't, nobody ain't gone there, no increase in vaccination uptake. Some people have gone for boosters, but those are those who are not vaccine hesitant anyway. And the vaccine boosted people stands at 108,760. Those are the only people who have some sort of safety, two-thirds safety against Omicron. So what are y'all talking about safe zone? What about those people with natural immunity, which is higher than 67% against Omicron? Them unsafe, them can't walk, but them safer than we. All you make it make sense for the Douglar now. The Douglar is a logical person, but make it make sense. And while all you making it make sense, how come all these PNM get COVID? Oh, look at Gonzalez, minister, a man recovers from COVID. How he get COVID? In the bathroom? Or the man in the van? The wrong man in the van driving the van. He had COVID too, you know. I wonder if that's how you get it, minister, man. Kid Scotland, you get it too? Be careful, I see all you bathing together in Lavanti. But Rowley had COVID, Camille had COVID, Champa had COVID, Webster Roy had COVID, Brian Manning had COVID, Franklin Khan dead. We don't know if it's COVID, they will tell me nothing. THA candidate PNM had COVID. Joycelyn Bodden dead from COVID with the PNM. And many other PNM. How all of them PNM get COVID? Knock on wood, the only UNC get is Tim Gopi Singh, and he's a frontline man who exposing himself to keep people safe. Moving Education Minister to make announcement soon on rapid antigen tests. Rapid antigen tests. Actually, this is not a test that the globe using since South Korea in January 2020. Over 2 years now, these rapid antigen tests, all over the world are using them. The Education Minister is now talking about making an announcement soon on rapid antigen tests. Education Minister Dr. Nyan Gadsby-Dolly will be making the appropriate announcement in the shortest space of time, shorter than 24 months. You're only 24 months late? Don't rush, don't hurt yourself, girl. You might trip on your bundles. Cool yourself, it's 24 months, you're done. Once you're late, you're done late. Don't rush now. In the shortest space of time on the matter of whether rapid antigen tests will be distributed to school-bound students to monitor possible COVID cases. But look at that. Let me read something else from you from the Newsday, Section 8, Thursday, January 27. Tobago, who spit out the PNM just about a month and a half ago, Tobago receives 15,000 antigen test kits from PAHO. So this Dr. Faith B. Israel, who lick out the PNM, takes it time, she had to dress up nice to go and swear in, get in and settle to start to do she work. In 1 month, Faith B. Israel get 15,000 antigen test kits for the people of Tobago, the children of Tobago, the citizens of Tobago, and we in Trinidad. Bundles here saying in the shortest space of time, she will determine and decide whether we getting that for we children to go to school. All you go ahead, you know, when all you vote, it has consequences, and when you talk consequences, when you live on the beat-up, and for 66 years you vote PNM because Dr. Williams tell you it's black people have to vote for black people, and once this man look like you, never mind he's a golf playing cheat who does kickball on the 15th hole, never mind he don't like nothing that look like he, never mind when he see pink, oh God, if he see my shirt, he might blush. Let me take off this shirt, boy. When you vote in the beat-up, they leave you in tutu water for 6.5 months, Archie. Show the people some video footage, and then they tell you it will be delayed. They tell you it will be done by December 2nd. Then they tell you it's the UNC bad boys in the Beatham that stopped Minister Aman and he bathing partner from going down there because the UNC would beat them up, and the UNC was drinking rum there, and they couldn't go in the Beatham because the UNC, and that flow in there because the UNC tipped the diesel. Well, the UNC tipped the diesel down in the Penile Debate Corporation too. The UNC tipped the diesel from the Coast Guard for the last 24 months that they couldn't do no patrol and could not keep the borders closed and create a security dome like what Kamala say and leave the borders open for COVID-19, Brazilian variant, Delta variant, and now Omicron variant to come in and ravage the citizens, kill 3,375 people. But when Beatham elements cause sewer leak, says the Minister of Man, put up the Minister of Man there. And let me see what the people think about the Minister of Man. Taken from the Express, Thursday 27. Beatham elements cause sewer leak. This clung says UNC had nothing to do with the PNM incompetence. It's sabotage by the UNC. With all due respect to you, Mr. Minister, this area is a PNM stronghold for years. You all in charge. Why blame the UNC? Next person. He blaming UNC in order to hide his blatant incompetence. Next person. It's easy to blame someone else in your own failures, PNM. And next person. You know when these ministers saying things, they must be able to prove it. And next person. In 65 years, the PNM have control of this area and they can't even get the basics right. And next person. There goes the blame Kamala syndrome again. And next person, so does this mean that PNM supporters sabotage the pumps? Next person, so Beatham is a UNC stronghold now. And next person, same elements you all does look for around election time. These elements need to open their eyes and stay woke. Shaking my head. And next person, Kamala strikes again. 3 weeks ago was Beatham, now is Mosquito Creek. Next person, that lady must be Superwoman or Wonder Woman to impact all your down in the Beatham. Hey, Minister, man, let me tell you something. Take your head out the gutter or the K-Pax, wherever it is. Take your head out of there, Minister, man, and do your work. Because nobody has water. You are the worst minister in the history of public utilities, and you only there a year and a bit. You are a total dunce. Every pipe Wassa have, even Wassa pump stations leaking. And from this clung to gross political interference by the man who put that man there. Kamala Prasad Bisesa asked, did Keith Rowley violate the Constitution and the law by deliberately sabotaging selection of a cup list out of his personal vendetta with Gary Griffith? Very serious questions. And I'm asking those questions to the independent senators, especially independent Senator Vera, because you thought it's just opinion. Rowley admitted on Kamala Georges that he was the one. The merit list you now see from Freedom of Information application by Ravi Balgobin Maharaj, you see that Gary Griffith topped the list. You see the letter that Rowley say he did not like Gary Griffith and how he talk and so on, and that he intervened and interfered. Gary Griffith at the top. Where that boy, McDonald Jacob? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. McDonald Jacob, your 6th boy. Don't worry, you could go Olympics, tell your children or grandchildren, if they come 6th in the Olympics, Uncle Rowley would give them the gold medal, okay? He will make sure and disqualify all the other competitors from the USA, Australia, Germany, and Japan, and South Korea, and all those countries. And if you come 6th, Uncle Rowley will give you gold medal, okay? You tell your grandchildren that. They tell me don't walk with Jacob, because Jacob does walk and shake up, boy. Griffith unstable, disrespectful, threatening, says Rowley. Rowley, you as a teacher who take pom-pom from a girl at school age, calling a man disrespectful? Hey, it's bamboo you want? You who give a 17-year-old bamboo down in South, and then she get a HCC house? Archie, show them now, man. Rowley, gishy bamboo.
Baby, push back on the bamboo, baby. Take bamboo, gal. Take bamboo, ride it, gal. Take bamboo, gal. Take bamboo, ride it, gal. Take bamboo, gal. Take bamboo, ride it, gal. Take bamboo, gal. Take bamboo, ride it, gal.
looking to put your little bamboo there too. It's a bamboo patch. Rohan? Rohan, it's a bamboo patch for you waiting to share your bamboo too? Or you carry the thing for bamboo? All you're sick. That's why the mosquito crack. Now, ladies and gentlemen, you think elections have no consequences? Kamla Prasad Bisesa was the best minister of education in the history of this country. Back under the Bastille Pandey regime, she carried us forward. When she became prime minister, she put two of the best ministers as Minister of Science and Tertiary Education and Minister of Education. And she guided both ministries very carefully with great investment across the board because she understood education. She's a prime minister for the children to give opportunities. Now, let's be very careful. We're going to show you some information. Sit down, and be very careful. Because what we're going to show you is the investment of Kamla Prasad Bisesa, Fazal Karim, Tim Gopi Singh, the People's Partnership Government, the UNC government, in the future, our children, through gate funding. Archie, could you put it up there, please, the facts? Look at 2011, 625 million, Kamla. 2012, 650 million for gate expenditure for our children across the board, all children to study. 2013, 726 million. 2014, 635 million. 2015, 712 million for gate, for education, for all our children, tech, VOC, moving across all sorts of abilities and all of the degrees and the degree programs towards growth poles and areas where jobs were being created, 55,000 jobs. Then comes Rowley. Then comes the PNM. And 2016, that was still budgeted originally by Fazal, but 650 million. And then Rowley really got his hands into to put his heart and soul into your children's future. And he cut it to 504 million. And by 2018, he cut it again back to 434 million and maintained that for 2018 and 2019 and 2020. But then in 2021, in the pandemic, he surreptitiously went and cut it to 400 million. But that was revised estimate. The actual expenditure as illustrated this week in the parliament was 320 million. As Call Members say, they save 80 million from that. So the overall decrease, Kamla, for your children, 726 million. Rowley, 320 million. A decrease of $400 million annually that Kamla would invest in your children, the children of Trinidad and Tobago, as opposed to Rowley and his PNM dastardly bunch of selfish recusal, the most corrupt government in the history of Trinidad and Tobago. And let's see how it turned out in numbers. That was money. Now let's talk human beings. Kamla Prasad Bisesa, June 2015, 59,605 students getting their education paid for to ensure a sustainable future, wages, high earning jobs, to ensure that they could go to their fullest potential. 59,605 students of Trinidad and Tobago. And then you come to Keith Christopher Rowley. Let's go. Yes, let me do the left foot, right foot, my beautiful black children. It's such rhythm, not like Stuart Smallpin Young where you don't know what he's doing. You all dance, you put on that red nasty rash jersey and you dance, but you weren't sure what you're dancing for, because when you dance and Rowley became the leader, Kamla was 59,605 students getting their education paid for by the government. And Rowley cut that from 59,605 down to 21,201 students. That is a decrease of some 38,000 students per year. Jed, Archie, Rowley cut it, Jed. Nothing for we, Jed. PNM cut it, Jed. Run it there, Archie, Jed.
Tears and disbelief at Balize House on Monday evening. The reality that the party they had supported for decades had lost the general election was beginning to sink in. Many stared at the electronic screens as the results began to come in. By 10 o'clock, many had already realized that the party was not in a good position. For some young voters, a PNM defeat they believe jeopardizes their chances at a tertiary level education.
My children crying. Imagine that. Because people of Trinidad, right, decide to play Russian roulette and play games with the children future. Time will tell, and God will sleep.
All I want to know is how I get into go school. Come and go and close down all the youth program, and then for all you send them here nothing to get done.
Others doubt.
Jed, time told, and God wake up. You all ready to vote again? You all still want to see who black and who Indian? All you want to vote Douglar. Vote for Gate. Vote for 106 schools. Vote for MIC centers. Vote for NESC centers. Vote for increased funding to COSTAT. Vote for increased funding of UTT and not the attack on UTT. Vote for education. Vote for opportunities. Vote for job creation. Vote for laptops. Vote for tablets. Vote for Wi-Fi. Vote for children in sport. Vote for PAN and music in schools. You all ready to vote again? All you want to vote for who black? Look what the black man do all you. He black. Yeah, he black on the outside, but he kick ball on the 15th hole of the course in Tobago. He white on the inside. He pink like my shirt on the inside. All you vote for outside banana skin? Sure you don't want to vote again? Studying race? Forget race and study what is important for the future Trinidad and Tobago. When we talk about that, I love sport. Let's see what the black man, the great loving Rowley, who love you so much, he love you little black people, he take everything from you, but he still love you. Let's see how he loves sport, Archie. Just show them a little tidbit now.
Good evening, everyone. We just want to take a little look at the impact of the closure of Petrochin on sport. The trip would have brought us here to Guacara Park, where we're taking a little look at the Petrochin Sports Club and the surrounding facilities that were closed with the closure of Petrochin. And so this is the pavilion area here. We're just taking a little look at it here. You know what I mean? I look at the pavilion area. Some of it still looking kind of decent, but some of it woefully overgrown. You know what I mean? In grass. Woefully overgrown. Underkept. There's no upkeep of the facility. The place is in a totally dilapidated condition.
This is Palaseco Velodrome now, y'all. Where we used to sit down, it used to be covered. Everybody playing football, watching the games play, right? So Mr. Rowley had promised the people of Palaseco, and he told them in 3 months after the gate, in 3 months' time, he hit them one of the Petrochin will never close. Petrochin is not closing. So he hit them one of them and tell them in 3 months' time, he would have fixed it, right? This is Palaseco Velodrome. This is Palaseco Velodrome. In 3 months, he'll have fixed it. In 3 months' time, the government will fix this. And this will be a like never before. Facilities and blah, blah, blah. Blah, 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 blah. That's all let us vote for Trinidad and Tobago. This is what let us vote for. Yapping. Right? Yapping. In the trap. Watch. Watch. I carry all the... Let's share it now, man. Let them see it. Why are they not billing it? Why are they not billing it? Let's bill it. This is Palaseco Velodrome. Watch here. Those neighbors who feel to come and take board for the house was free to come and take board for the house. We have
Palaseco, 86% black, African, Trinbagonian. But Rowley gone in the parliament to get a extra money to make sure Johnny Sukaran, who's shamed to be an Indian, turn Faris Al-Rawi to make sure he get his rent. Faris Al-Rawi, Johnny Sukaran, get over $84 million from the PNM, 23.6 in rent for 3 years, renewed for the next 3 years, plus 38 million to outfit a building that he did not have money to outfit. And they go on in the parliament to make sure he get his money while simultaneously stopping food card, cutting CPEP workers, cutting gate, cutting anything for the people. And you all the black people in Palo Seco, all you couldn't get no million. That velodrome could have fixed over there for 50 million. Perfect or less. But Al-Rawi one man, not a black man, not a blick. Because all they like race, and last time I checked, Johnny Sukaran wasn't black. And he didn't want to be brown because he didn't like being Indian. So he go on and change his name to Al-Rawi to pretend he's something else that he's not. But he get more than the whole of Palo Seco. Really? Come let me vote. Hey, where the PNM? Do the hey, left foot, policy, right foot. And if you do it like small pen, I can't even do it like small pen. I can't even do that. Me and know how Asha Javid do that now. Asha Javid, by the time he choke you in the bathroom, and that's why I leave him. So this is a very serious thing. But then I check myself and I understand why. It's a PNM voters, you know. I am certain, actually, this man, if I had to bet, and I'm a betting man, I bet you there's a PNM voter. Run it in Tobago.
Watch, big and bold. No dumping. Watch, people. Watch. Watch. No, it's we had to clean it. He had no dumping here. Watch. Then business. Then business. Watch him. Watch. We had to clean this every time. Watch. But a man stop dumping the rubbish here. He have a no dumping sign here, so watch it. You have a no dumping sign there. Stop dump rubbish there. Let this be your last. Let it be your last.
And I find the reporter was very calm and diplomatic and well behaved and disciplined. But look, the man van red and all. Who betting me that is a PNM? All you want to bet? I put me money. That is a PNM. But it's all right. You all don't understand that human beings are not always the smartest, you know. Sometimes we feel we're smart. We must always check ourselves before we wreck ourselves. A little scientific study, right? While I was eating my banana, I saw this video actually, and I thought I should share it with you, the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, as I ate my potassium-filled carbohydrate glycogen banana. Run it, Archie.
And finally from us here on the webcast today, a story that might cause some of you to question whether or not we human beings really are the smartest creatures here on planet Earth. Japanese researchers created an intelligence test that pitted humans against chimps. And in the end, we look like chumps. Here's Bill Blakemore.
First test. Can chimpanzees count from 1 to 9 in the right order in return for a peanut or other tasty reward? Yes, they can. Now, if you just flash the 9 numerals for a moment, then cover them, can a chimpanzee remember where each numeral was and still get the order they were in right? Yes, for another tasty treat. This chimp got this wrong once, but thought nothing of it and, undaunted, went right back to getting them all correct. Now, if you flash just some of the 9 numerals, then cover them, can a chimp A, remember where each was, and B, in the right order, even though some were missing? Yes. Slowing down not one bit. And note, chimps can also eat and memorize at the same time. Not only that, if right after the numerals are flashed, the chimpanzee is then distracted, say by some monkey business over to the right off camera, or perhaps by another good-looking chimpanzee, and then returns to it, no problem. Just keep the goodies coming. Now, can another primate species, the adult Homo sapien, do the same? Well, okay. And again? 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 One more try? Well, okay. But actually, chimpanzees did much better than humans in this flash and remember test, leaving the Japanese human researchers scratching their heads. One possible theory: chimpanzees care more than humans about peanuts. Bill Blakemore, ABC News.
Very, very interesting, eh? But from that, whatever brain matter, whatever gray matter we use, or we have, we must use it before we vote. Mustn't vote on automatic pilot. Because when you do, now just Archie put up, look at what this family had to go through and just imagine this. Put up that picture, Archie. I cannot imagine the pain of this family. 6 people died in this family. Within 6 weeks, we have lost 5 members of our family. My mother, grandmother, Auntie Annette, Auntie Rita, and Uncle Trevor last month. And this month has been tough for all of us. By God's grace, we will get through this storm. Condolences to this family. I cannot imagine, I can't even understand how you're even strong enough to just keep going. God bless you all. But it also shows from the strength of this family that there is hope. No matter how bleak the situation. Never mind what mistakes we made. Yes, some of you made a big mistake, a grave mistake, thinking that race is important in elections and voting for a song and a jersey and a music. An entire country is now in pain. But there is hope when you have citizens with brain, intelligent, heart and soul, passion. There are choices to be made. And we must unite and make the correct choices. To the mass media who lied on Kamala Prasad-Bisesa and her ministers every day, 2 times a day, 3 times a day, in all of your newspapers, shame on you all. You're disgusting because you are the most unpatriotic. Great countries like Canada, there are protests, 50,000 truckers hitting the street just because of one bad policy. But things in Canada work. People don't mind paying taxes, buses on time, hospital good, education system, sport, coaching, community sports facilities, place clean, roads in good condition. But they protest. Why don't we protest when we not only have that mandatory vaccine thing on around our necks, but we have the most inhumane prime minister in the history of the Commonwealth, an arrogant, dishonest, pathological liar who just there to spend your money and take your money and keep your money. How come we not protesting? We have to get rid of the chains of mental slavery, but always remember there is hope. And when a lady deserves a job based on a track record, she must be given and returned to that job. We must all unite and stop the petty stupidity, because this family shows strength and there's always hope. No matter how you're born, no matter what mistake you do, you could always thrive and survive. Watch this youth man here and then understand that we, the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, can correct our errors and return Kamala Prasad-Bisesa to Prime Minister, return the UNC because of their intellectual capital and the care and the passion. By policy, not by talk. No talk. Policy, cabinet notes, implementation, construction, roads, smooth, water 74%, electricity, job creation, facts, not fiction, as Victor Roberts would say. Watch this youth man and be inspired that no matter how dark things look, you could rise and the sun could rise and you can see greatness from difficulty. Run it, Archie.
a big van. She don't want no 80 wagon. She looking for a 4-wheel van. Girl, before we get the 80 wagon, it was only P2 transportation. Give me girl, I thought you were going strong, but I never know, baby, your eyes so long. Oh, oh, na 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 na, not again. The girl leave me for a man with a big van. She don't want no 80 wagon. She looking for a 4-wheel van. Give me all I can hear today, you're saying. Me sit hard and me trunk for rattling. Me girl leave me for a man with a big van. She don't want no 80 wagon. She looking for a 4-wheel van. Girl, I try to fulfill all your needs, but you was overpowered by greed. See me, girl, I finally realize you're like a puppy that opened the eyes. Oh, oh, na 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 na, not again. The girl leave me for a man with a big